Hi there, and welcome to this tutorial for motion matching for Unity. In this tutorial, we're going to look at how we can use user tags. So what are user tags? User tags are basically tags that we can tag our animations up with that can be queried at runtime by the user, which is you, the developer, to do whatever you want them to do. So user tags by themselves don't actually do anything specific in the motion matching system. They are a way to tie in your gameplay to your animation. And there's a few examples of that happening in the MXM demo. Every time our character is vaulting, my code is querying the user tags of the animation to see if it should turn off or on the gravity and the collision of the collider. Now, our character has gravity going all the time, so if I run off an edge where there is no vault, it's going to apply gravity. Also has a collider so that I can't just run through walls. But that's not always a good thing. So let's have a look at this vault here. So the character vaults up, and the movement upwards is controlled by a root motion plus animation warping provided by the system. Now, if we're applying gravity at the same time, it's going to be wanting to push our character down at the same time. So I need to actually turn the gravity off. Additionally, if I don't turn the controller off, I'm not going to be able to get that close to the edge. It's probably going to push my character back about half a meter from the edge. Additionally, when it comes to landing, so if I say jump off, I need to turn it back on before I hit the ground so that I don't have ground clipping. And Unity's controller is absolutely horrible with ground clipping, and it's even sometimes not enough in this case. I recommend highly not using Unity's character controller if you can get away with it. Okay, so let's look at how we can set up these user tags. Now, this is just my use case for this particular demo. However, you can use it for whatever you want. If you want to trigger something happening based on a tag, then this is one way you can do it if using the event system isn't appropriate. So let's close this and have a look at our character's preprocessor. So here it is, and I'm going to go to the vaulting animations, and let's look at a vault up animation. Here it is. We don't actually need the composite editor, so we'll just use the scene view and the timeline. Now, to get access to our user tags, we can change the mode to user, and we get a very familiar scene where we can create tracks. Now, where do these tracks come from? Where does the naming of these user tags come from? They again come from the preprocessor. We have a section for user tags, and again, we have 32 possible tags that we could create to do our own custom logic tie-in. So you can see here, I've made one for disable gravity and one for disable collision. And then you can obviously just add them as tracks, just like you would in the general, require tags and feature and favor tags sections. And we can create a track, and we can add a tag, and we can move it around. We can add multiple tags, just like exactly the same features as all other tag tracks. So you can see here, I don't actually need this one here. I've already tagged this animation up with disable collision and disable gravity tags. So if we see we're running here, I'll just hit preview. We're running here, and the character's collision is going to be turned off from here. The gravity is going to be turned off from here. And it's still off. It's all off. Everything's being controlled by animation and warping at this point. And then we're going to turn our gravity and our controller back on here. Now, something actually a bit silly here. I've got the collision still turned off at this point, but I've turned the gravity on. So I probably want to do them at the same time, or at least only turn the gravity on if I have collision, because what's going to happen is I'm going to turn the gravity on and I'm going to start falling through the geometry. So I should probably just pull that back. So this is just a use case of the user tags to disable and enable gravity or collision. You can use for whatever you want within your gameplay. Maybe you'll have a specific case in an attack animation where it could be doing damage, as in like it activates the sword attack volume that detects if it's hit an enemy. You would create a track for that and you would tag it up. And then you would query that at runtime. So let's have a look at how we can then at runtime query these tags to do our custom animation logic. Okay, so in the case of this disable collision and disable gravity tags, I'm actually querying them within the vault detector. Now this is a very complex script, so I'm not going to actually go into this one. Let's create our own. Actually, let's go to the MXM preprocessor, and I'm going to make a be happy tag. And let's create that be happy tag. Let's create a track, and let me see, what point can we do it on? Let's make it just in the middle here. There we go, the be happy tag happens in the middle of this animation. So let's go to our robot Kyle, and in our example demo input script, let's have a look at that. And all we're going to do is we're going to query this tag. So I just go to my update function for this, and I'm going to ask the MXM animator. So if MXM animator dot query user tag, and we can pass in the name of the tag. So be happy, and it's going to return true or false if the current animation is tagged with be happy. And so if it is, I'm going to just go debug.log I'm happy. Now there's a few variations of this function. I'll just show you quickly. User tag, we can query an integer of the tag, so it's the tag ID. This is similar to with adding require tags. Is you've got the int version, the string version, and you've also got the pure enumeration version, which is actually query user tags. Now this is the most efficient, and then we can actually pass in a number of tags as a flag field. So in this case I could just say user tag.1. Of course it's not as intuitive because you can't just have the string, you have to use the enumeration. So in this case we're just going to do that. We're going to query the tag I'm happy, and if we get that, then it's going to debug log I'm happy. Let's go back to our scene. I'll need to pre-process this. Alright, so let's play and let's see if I can be happy. It should show up in the bottom left here. And there it is. It says I'm happy, and that was the animation. I'll just show that in the console a bit better. So it printed out I'm happy, I'm happy. Let's clear that, so when we do that animation, I'm happy. Okay, so there you go. We can trigger our own custom logic based on these user tags. That's what user tags are for. I hope this is useful for crafting your own sort of gameplay with MXM. And so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.